Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
XRP Crypto Wolf posting this. XRPL is trending. But look what else is trending, guys. The XRPL, 15,000 tweets, trending under technology on Twitter. And Trudeau for treason with even more tweets, 18.4 thousand tweets, trending under politics. Boy, is he sure having a hard time up in Parliament. Anyway, interesting because if you guys haven't heard, a lot is happening in Canada because of the protests that are occurring in Ottawa. They're spurring on many other protests worldwide involving these. And you know, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau just yesterday said something super offensive to a Jewish member of Parliament, and I don't even want to repeat it, but look it up if you guys are interested. This is after they just said that they are going to now freeze, or rather they have the emergency capability to freeze Canadian citizens' bank accounts, and that also extends to cryptocurrency. Now, you know, this could just be a convenient excuse to usher something like this in, and I'm not going to make this video all about Canada, but it is interesting considering what we're seeing even in the United States. Now, I'm going to get to some of these points in a second. I'm going to talk about a document that was also just released from the Financial Stability Board in the United States. But first, I wanted to just mention this, guys. I know a lot of us have used this resource over the years, and VSVN here sadly put out this statement just today. Well, my Ledger Exposed project still got a significant amount of visitors on a daily basis. I decided to take down the project. So what he's saying is RIP XRP Rich List. Upgrades were needed and I simply don't have the time or the bandwidth to upgrade the project to offer a good user experience. So if you guys did not know what that was the Ledger Exposed, the Rich List, previously the XRP Rich List. It let you know based on how much XRP you had, where you ranked in terms of wallets holding X amount of XRP, if you were in the top 2% or 1% or 0.1%. But he's taking it down. I know I am very disappointed and upset about this. However, I do understand his reasons. He just says he doesn't have the time, but he does say that there are other people building on the XRPL, and maybe some other project will indeed pick this up, because I believe focus is important, because I don't want to deliver a half-baked user experience with outdated info. I felt it was necessary to take down the project. I'm certain other developers in the ecosystem will pick up the project where I left off. Some existing websites showing statistics, XRPL services, and then he just gives a few other links here of some other projects that do work on the XRPL. Anyway, it was a disappointing statement. I was not expecting this morning. The number of people building on the XRP ledger has increased significantly since I built this project, he goes on to say. There are now plenty of websites offering even greater info and better user experiences when it comes to getting XRPL statistics. I think the one thing we really did like, though, was the XRPL Rich List. See where we stacked up amongst other XRP hodlers. And so, I mean, I understand his reasoning. I do hope somebody else does pick up the XRPL Rich List project, because I think it was very helpful. You know, when we're not feeling the best about our investment, it is still nice to see that we hold X amount of XRP, you know, bringing us up and, you know, giving us the feeling, bolstering our confidence when we see, you know, you're in the top 2 or 1% or wherever you land in that list. But I will link this tweet in the description, and if you guys want to add on to this thread, maybe you can tweet to VSVN and give him your opinion. He is developing a lot of great new projects on the XRPL, so I do not begrudge him for his decision. I'm going to keep going though, guys. Crypto Addy posted this. Now, this is Charlie Munger. He is the 90-plus-year-old vice president at Berkshire Hathaway. Here are a couple of clips of him talking about cryptocurrency. Listen to this.
Charlie, crypto was another question that I got a lot of. I'll ask this one from Carl Moscatello, who says, crypto is a $2 trillion asset class. Are you willing to admit you missed something?
Well, I certainly didn't invest in crypto. I'm proud of the fact that I avoided it. It's like, you know, some venereal disease or something. I just regard it as beneath contempt. Some people think it's modernity and they welcome a currency that's so useful in extortions and kidnappings and so on and so on, tax evasion. And And of course, the envy, everybody has to create his own new currency. And I think that's crazy too, so I'm not having any, I wish it had been banned immediately.
Ouch! I mean, the guy is 98 years old. I wonder why he's still working. But Crypto Eddie here, hashtag painful. I don't disagree. What an incredibly out of touch position to hold. So clueless. I mean, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He is probably, likely, hopefully, retiring tomorrow. But then I saw this one. Now, this is another clip from the same interview talking about the Federal Reserve and CBDCs, which essentially are digital currencies.
This is the appropriate follow-up, and this comes from Micah Mysek, who asks, Mr. Munger, you've been warning of the evils of cryptocurrency in the past. How do you feel about the Federal Reserve preparing to launch a central bank digital currency? Do you think that this will be beneficial or harmful to the strength and resilience of our markets?
No, the Federal Reserve could have a currency if they want one. That would be just we've got a digital currency already, it's called a bank account. The banks are all integrated with the Federal Reserve System. We already have a digital currency.
All right, let's talk about the broader markets.
Oh my goodness. It's pretty clear he has no idea about the technology. This coming from Andrew Zell. Munger and Buffett were never good at cutting edge tech, just predictable business models and predictable cash flows. So, it's interesting because on the one hand, he says, cryptocurrency, it's likening it to a venereal disease. But when asked about the Fed's cryptocurrency, the CBDC project, he says, well, we already have a digital currency and, the banking system is already running on that. I guess he understands the concept of ones and zeros written in a ledger at the banking level, that they don't actually physically print the cash anymore and that they just create it out of thin air, and it is numbers moving from one account to another. But again, very out of touch. Immortal over here posting this, retweeting out a zero hedge tweet. Munger says he is proud of having not invested in crypto, likens it to a venereal disease. And Elon Musk actually responded, I was at a lunch with Munger in 2009 where he told the whole table all the ways Tesla would fail. Made me quite sad, but I told him I agreed with all those reasons and that we would probably die, but it was worth trying anyway. So it just goes to show you that sometimes the most experience in the room is not the most intelligent in the room. Again though, considering Charlie Munger, very down on traditional cryptos like Bitcoin, has said, well, the Fed and the way we deal with money right now, well, we already have a digital currency. But I mean, let's be honest. We're emerging from an old financial system into a new financial system, and the regulatory clarity, well, it just isn't there yet. JP Morgan is urging for regulatory clarity from the government. This coming from Michael at Val5Links. They're saying global regulation is urgently needed for banks to help clients invest in cryptocurrency. So these guys realize crypto is the future, and they are saying that we need that regulatory clarity and we need it now. Debbie Tonys is a JP Morgan executive, and she said that new rules are urgently needed to give banks certainty in handling crypto assets on behalf of large customers who seek exposure in the asset class. A growing number of large institutions, including hedge funds, are interested in investing and gaining exposure to crypto assets. According to Wells Fargo, cryptocurrency has entered the hyper-adoption phase. So this is what's happening at the banking level right now. Noting that some very large players had asked JP Morgan to hedge their exposures to crypto assets, Tony's opined, I do think we need a globally consistent regulatory framework. It's important that we get a solution as quickly as possible. So they are saying, not only in the United States, we need this to be globally consistent, and it needs to be a regulatory framework because they realize cryptocurrencies are a global phenomenon. Global banking regulators at the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision are discussing rules for banks to deal with crypto assets. In June last year, the committee proposed dividing crypto assets into two groups and regulating them based on their market, liquidity, credit, and operational risks to banks. However, final rules are not expected until at least next year. So are we going to see regulatory clarity firm up by 2023? Is this going to be another year where we see governments essentially scrambling before we get that regulatory clarity? It is interesting, and I think it is good that banks like JP Morgan and other American banks are saying, look, we need this, but we need it fast, and it does need to kind of cover the gamut, right? It has to include global entities so that we can all get on the same page. The JP Morgan head of regulatory affairs detailed the real risk to all our economies is that if we don't get to a solution that allows banks to engage with our clients in a hedged way, this activity will go outside the regulatory parameter, and I am concerned about financial stability. Financial stability, an interesting way to put this, considering this just came out yesterday. James Rule XRP bringing this to our attention. This is from the FSB. The Financial Stabilities Board. Crypto asset markets are fast evolving and could reach a point where they represent a threat to global financial stability due to their scale. And he posted the PDF here, guys. It did just come out yesterday, February the 16th, 2022. The entire PDF is here. I'm obviously not going to go over this entire PDF with you guys. I have read some of it. Really gives some good insight on where their concerns are with regards to financial stability and how cryptocurrencies are really going to affect markets this coming decade. And I wanted to bring this up because I wanted to just go back to what is trending today. The XRPL, Trudeau for treason. We know what's recently happened in Canada, and I also saw this, guys, from Michael at Val5 Links. This also, coincidentally, or maybe not so coincidentally, happened in Canada. 5 major Canadian banks went offline, preventing a number of customers from using e-transfers, online banking, and mobile banking services. Things that make you go, The financial institutions affected by the outage included Royal Bank of Canada, RBC, BMO, Scotiabank, TD Bank Canada, and the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, otherwise known as CIBC. These are the 5 major banks that Canada has. Most Canadians do business with these 5 banks. The number of complaints of people experiencing difficulty accessing their online banking peaked between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, which was yesterday, while accounts of this issue are still occurring on Thursday, which is today, according to a report. And so here are just some graphs of, I suppose, outage reports in the last 24 hours. You can see it's spiked. And banking teams are saying we are currently experiencing technical difficulties. This is coming from an RBC representative. Our experts are investigating and working to get this fixed as quickly as possible, but we have no ETA to provide at time. We appreciate your patience. This is happening in Canada, guys, right after Chrystia Freeland, the Deputy Prime Minister of Canada, announced that the Canadian government could freeze its citizens' accounts if they were suspecting that they were supporting this in Ottawa. This also coming on the heels of this, and this is why I go, Canada must build a framework to make crypto as safe as our financial system. This coming from Carolyn Wilkins. If done well, it can achieve benefits of financial innovation for households and businesses and avoid buildup of systemic risk. This is talking about crypto and how they see that it needs to be regulated in a new financial system. Maybe it's because it reminds me of the Wild West, conjuring up images of bandits and lawlessness. Unfortunately, that's not a stretch. So they are saying there needs to be a crackdown on cryptocurrency. The crypto market has exploded from just $16 billion 5 years ago to $2 trillion today. There's reinvention too. The crypto ecosystem is challenging the financial system, which, for all its strengths, is also often inefficient, expensive, and exclusive. Some of the pioneers have Canadian roots, like Vitalik Buterin, and also, just as a side note, Changpeng Zhao. We need to sort out what differentiates a bandit from a law-abiding pioneer to achieve the benefits of financial innovation for households and businesses and avoid the buildup of systemic risk. So, a direct threat towards the crypto ecosystem in Canada. Why am I not surprised considering what is happening in Canada today? Now, we're seeing this on both sides of the border. And just to put this into perspective with regards to the Financial Stability Board's document here, Matthew Lany also brought this up, an assessment of risks to financial stability from crypto assets. Again, this from just this month, February 2022. It's a threat, he says, because they can't control aspects of this new technology. And so he's just posting some screen grabs here of the report, some metrics available, some charts here. And again, I will link the PDF in the description of this video if you guys want to peruse. This is what I wanted to bring up, though. The FSB and other standard-setting bodies are already working to address threats associated with so-called global stablecoins. The FSB will continue to monitor developments and risks in crypto asset markets based on the framework published in 2018. In 2022, the FSB will also explore potential regulatory and supervisory implications of unbacked crypto assets, including the types of actions FSB member jurisdictions have taken or plan to take to address any associated financial stability threats. So they are looking to really crack down on this, examining the regulatory gaps and challenges that may exist, including those that arise from the cross-border and cross-sectoral nature of crypto assets, will be a key element of this work. The FSB will also continue to monitor and share information on regulatory and supervisory approaches to ensure the effective implementation of its high-level recommendations for the regulation, supervision, and oversight of global stablecoin arrangements. So it is not just exclusive to Canada. The United States also catching on, just putting out this report yesterday, or rather the Financial Stability Board has just put out this report yesterday, assessment of risks to the financial stability from crypto assets, guys. We are finally emerging into this new financial framework. It is happening slowly but surely. Just the other day, I did a video. In the video, somebody posted a sign that they saw at the bank that the Fed had put a stop, we don't know if it was temporary or not, had put a stop on printing new currency, and so they were not able to give a large amount of currency at that time. And if you guys didn't see that video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. This is all coming to a head, guys, a new financial framework. And the global reset? Could it be? Disclose TV also posted this. Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum says the beer flu pandemic has led to a heightened focus on the power of medical data, specifically so-called V-passes. These passes by nature serve as a form of digital identity. I am not kidding you guys. This is a new document from the World Economic Forum from just this month, February 2022. And that's indeed what they are saying. Integrating this with telecommunications, healthcare, financial services, food and stability, travel and mobility, humanitarian response, e-commerce, social platforms, and e-government. Do we really want this to be our future, guys? And is it happening before our eyes? I mean, if the XRP rich list was online, we could see how much XRP we hold compared to the rest of the world and where we rank in terms of XRP hodlers. The good news is we know many people still aren't even privy to the benefits of cryptocurrency, and it's only really a small amount of people, whether you're in Canada or the United States or anywhere else, that hold cryptocurrency compared to your nation's population. So I'd say we're still in the 1%. Keep hodling, because I think this is our hedge against the Great Reset.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.